Customer conversations do not happen in one place. They start on a call, move to a text, get picked up by a human agent, and continue the next day on a different channel. Most systems treat each of these as separate events. Conversation Orchestrator collects all of these interactions into a single, continuous conversation instead of a series of disconnected events. It works with existing Twilio channels, including voice and messaging, and can also be implemented through APIs when teams want deeper control. If you want the big picture of how this fits into the Twilio conversations as a whole, you can start with the introduction video in this series. Within the Twilio platform, Conversation Orchestrator sits across channels, routing systems, AI agents, and human teams. As interactions happen, whether inbound or outbound, AI-led or human-led, it connects them into a single conversation and its related communications. Conversation Orchestrator is the engine that handles the coordination, while conversation memory can attach useful context to it. Conversation intelligence can analyze it for signals and actions. Agent Connect can help AI agents participate in it from across channels. Together, they're the foundation for customer relationships that actually feel continuous, all of which can be explained in subsequent videos, but Conversation Orchestrator is the part that keeps the conversation itself intact as it moves. Here's what is happening behind the scenes. As interactions arrive through channels like Twilio Voice and Twilio Messaging, Conversation Orchestrator groups them into a single conversation tied to that customer. It tracks participation, ownership, and conversation status over time. It also coordinates routing and handoff in the context of the full conversation, rather than treating each call or message as an isolated event. That means the system is not responding to a channel and is managing an ongoing customer conversation. When you want to add a new channel like SMS or email, you shouldn't have to start from scratch. Conversation Orchestrator allows you to add new channels without rebuilding, routing, escalation, or conversation logic. This is all backed by a global network that's proven to work anywhere your users are. It can keep a conversation open for a configured period of time, which allows follow-up interactions to stay part of the same thread. When the thread closes, the customer journey does not reset. Conversation Orchestrator coordinates bringing relevant context into the next interaction. That is what gives teams a clean structure for routing, workflows, and continuity without requiring them to rebuild the channels they're already using. Because it works alongside your existing Twilio channels, teams can expand across channels without re-architecting their entire stack. And for teams that want deeper control, Conversation Orchestrator can also be implemented through APIs. Let's look at how this works in the Voltana dealership example. Jordan calls the dealership after hours about a specific car. The live voice interaction becomes the start of a conversation. When the virtual agent schedules a test drive and sends a confirmation text, that message is not treated as a separate event. Even though it's sent through a different channel, it is associated with the same conversation. Later, Jordan replies by SMS. Because the participant address and capture rules line up, that message is automatically added to the existing active conversation instead of creating a new thread. Same conversation, different channels, no context lost. Conversation Orchestrator also manages the lifecycle of that conversation. In the demo, the conversation remains open for a configured period of time after the call ends. That allows follow-up interactions to stay connected to the same thread. When the timeout is reached, the conversation closes. That gives the system a clean boundary between one customer interaction window and the next. The next morning, when Brian follows up with Jordan, he is not dealing with a random disconnected lead. He is continuing a customer journey that already has a conversation structure behind it. And later, when Jordan is transferred back to the virtual agent for check-in, that transition happens within the same overall conversation, rather than forcing everyone to start over. Conversation memory will show how context is carried forward. Conversation intelligence will show how the system interprets what is happening. But Conversation Orchestrator is what makes the whole journey hang together in the first place. This is Conversation Orchestrator. It's the engine that bridges the gaps between calls, texts, and handoffs, turning fragmented interactions into one seamless customer journey. Since it plugs directly into the existing Twilio channels and APIs, you get a stable foundation that handles the technical heavy lifting. This lets you stop worrying about the plumbing and start focusing on delivering the right context across every channel. In the next video, we'll look at conversation memory and see how context is carried forward over time.